moving the hoe out. I got future brother or future son-in-law bringing a few loads of mostly gravel, some dirt in it, off a job. And that was part where we got to put part of it. And I told her, get her moved quick, don't waste your time. Because I think the head gas is gone or something is. I don't need to get overheated anymore. So it's gonna go over and get pressure washed. We're gonna see if we can find either a leak or a flow problem. But anyway, there she is. She worked on it yesterday and got her all greased up, ready to go. And she just got done digging the tracks out. A bunch of hard dirt and a bunch of manure. I see the roller on this side is not turning, so it's still packed in. I know it'll turn. It's just packed full of dirt. She didn't get it. Good thing I haven't been moving it around too much. So, anyway, yay! She can do it. Her first time sitting in there to run the controls was yesterday, and she got her done. She's doing it today. Number one's over there keeping an eye on her, make sure she don't hit nothing. It ain't that bad. It's little. So, maybe we'll get more of that thing later. I gotta open the hood, open the back hatch, and find the greasy mess inside. So, more to come. So, we fed 3 bales earlier. That's what I'm down to out of the old stuff. That bothers me this earlier in the year. Especially when we just locked the cows in today, November 9th. We got way too much winter to go through. There's a 30 by 50 foot section down there. That stuff's sticking out, the taller part. That's all we got for actual hay. The face on it that's getting the weather is last year's grass seed straw, and this is last year's grass seed straw. They'll eat it, but there's not a lot in it for them. So, anyway, I fed earlier and went to put some grass seed straw bales in for bedding. Daughter number 2's getting those spread out now. There's 4 of them. I can get most of the way in the barn when it's empty with that stack on. During the winter, hey, it's 2-wheel drive. It ain't going to go in the barn when it's mucky in there, so I use a skid steer when we spread straw to get them in. But I came to fire it up and no cranky. And there's how many years this starter's been on there. And this starter actually came off an engine that was actually attached to that transmission. It was set up to be a puller, which they never really pulled. It was a 4010 with 4630 engine in it, I believe. Starter still fits, so that's all I cared about at the time. We needed a starter. But I don't remember if that's the date we put it in or if was rebuilt and put in that date. I really don't. At any rate, we had it. It's in here. It's been working since 04. And a couple weeks ago, it didn't want to, it went click and that was it. It didn't unclick. And I tapped her around. There's a hitch pin sitting here in the toolbox. Don't ask me why there's a pin there. We don't use it, but it's in there for beating. Tapped around a little bit, got it to work. It's worked fine since until today. And I spent 20 minutes tapping that sucker and never did get her. So it's time to come off. We use this thing almost every day all winter long. So, and I'm not so sure that I'm going to, oh, there we go. I know I'm going to hate it when I get to the back ones because, you know, they put them around the corner where you can't get on them. Bad enough that let's be smart about this and run the intake down that far and put a notch in the intake for the solenoid. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. God knows there had to be some reason why they had to put it that low. I mean, you know, a little inconvenience. They could have gone up another inch easily and still got to that bolt if you want to take the intake manifold off. It's still got to it with a extension straight out. They could have gone up 2 inches and not had this issue at all. But like I say, I've had my issues with engineers. They don't sit in no real world. But that's what we're doing now. And the nice thing is, the tools are right there. I needed to get that out anyway. We use that settle fuel from the underground into the shop tank, so we keep it heated when we're not getting a delivery. So she needed to fire up and move. This gives me a reason. And I hate walking back and forth. Oh, did I get the right tools? Well, I got a 20-foot walk instead of a 250 foot or 300, actually more than that. I'm probably 400 feet from the shop, so you know what I mean? I hate walking back and forth. Takes too much time. Takes more time than it does to video this quickie. So, get it apart, see if I can find something obvious. If I can't find nothing, I'm pretty sure that cotton harvester over there has the same starter, or at least will bolt up. I'll just jerk the one off of there for now and find somebody that'll rebuild this one. The outfit we used to use, they closed their doors about a year ago. No word from them or nothing, just all of a sudden they're not there anymore. There's another outfit a couple towns over that's supposed to be really good, so I haven't had the opportunity to go visit with the gentleman yet. Might be doing that this week. We'll see what happens. So I'll get you some more later. Thanks for watching. A bad dream. I came back. Kind of like this thing's a bad dream. Thank God there's not a fourth bolt on that, because that back one on the top is in the wrong spot. You can't get to it. I did finally get to it with one wrench and got it broke loose. And even with a 12-point wrench, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot get far enough to catch one notch on the wrench. But there she is, the dirty girl that she is. I'll take her up and see what the heck. Grab me a set of jumpers and see if it's the solenoid or if it's the starter. Either way, it's not something that's very easily done in there. And I was crossing between the posts here before, and all I was getting was some sparks. So I got a feeling it's the starter. Since she's old enough to vote almost. Yeah, I guess she's almost old enough to vote. Well, at least since it's been in. I know that starter's way older than that. So, and yeah, even though I have most things in the service truck, I still made 3 trips to the shop. But I had the Japanese quarter horse, so I ran it back and forth amongst doing a few other things. And I've got a wrench made for that, but it's leaned off the wrong direction. It couldn't get around the solenoid to get to the bolt. So I was going to see if I had another one to cut up and make, and I found another wrench that I could cut up. I didn't want to. So I thought, well, I've bent a lot of wrenches. Yeah, broke her out 2 spots. So I got to go make a new one anyway, so I think I'll make it the other way, so maybe it'll work going back together. In the meantime, my offset ratchet wrench there that I grabbed out of the shop, it's too thick around it to fit in. It could almost get in there once I had it broke loose, but it's still too thick to get on the bolt physically, because there's just, ouch, as I run into the tire, there's just not enough room right there for it. Oh, anyway, I'd have let you watch the whole thing, but I try not to do any flipping cursing on here. Then I'd have had to figure out how to put beeps in, and I'm not going to say beep when I do it, especially when I smash my hand, you know. So anyway, probably more to come on this one. Get her going. Got to have it. This thing gets used pretty much every day all winter long. The only good thing is, if I move that old sofa out of the way, there's room to get skid steer beside it, and I can weasel all 3 of those bales out with the skid steer. I can get in almost in. Boys and girls, guess what? That's tail end. I'm not even going to pull any brushes out because I don't know that there's any brushes left. No, you can see in there anywhere the armature can use a polishing. It looks like it'll polish up good. But when I pulled the end cap off, see all that? Yep, if you want to make some pencils, we can do that. Because that's pretty much all you can do with it once it's like that. The brushes are no longer. And yeah, I could probably go to John Deere or go to Auto Parts and get brushes for it, but I'll just take her into the automotive electric fella, and if he messes it up going together, it's on him. And if he finds anything else, he can fix it while he's there. Probably won't hurt to put new bushings in it, especially where there's the oil hole for that bushing, and this whole top here, it's set in there like that, and most all that carbon was sitting right there. And there's a little flaky to it too, as you can see in the picture. I see it in the picture a lot more than I see it in person. So anyway, more to come. Well, Monday morning, Veterans Day. Thank you, veterans. Yep, it's still sitting here. I got to call into Case IH dealer because, John Deere dealer is just a pain in the butt. Case IH can probably find me the starter for the John Deere tractor for half price. Also, looking on Amazon, we might go that route. Maybe it'll help the old girl to put a gear reduction on her and spin her a little faster. I don't know. I just want to make sure I find the right one. So, waiting for a phone call. Talked to another guy about the local rebuilder now, and he says he's really good. But if you tell him, hey, it just needs a set of brushes, everything else is fine. Well, he's going to tear the whole thing apart, and he's a little high on his price apparently too. And I mean, that's all right if his work is good, and I've heard it's good. But I'm going to look the other way first and get prices. Because, I mean, if it's going to be $200 to rebuild this one, it's better off in the barrel. Or it's better off getting cleaned up and order some brushes for it and clean it up and just call it a spare if need be. And like I said, I don't think it's going to hurt that old girl to spin a little faster. The 3545 Massey's got a gear reduction on it. And I mean, if that thing didn't have it, I don't know that it would ever start. Perkins in cold weather, they don't necessarily like each other, and she hasn't failed yet. So, and this John Deere, I mean, she's old, she's tired. So, that's what I know. Oh yeah, and looky, little antifreeze, that's that orange stuff, because the newer Chevys take that. Everything else we have uses ethyl glycol. Yeah, don't mix the two. I just had a discussion on another video. Burning Dinosaur said something, and I said, oh, I got lucky on that one. But one of the issues I do have is I mixed some a long time ago. They make little bouncy rubber balls inside and plug everything up. So anyway, hey, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell. I'm still waiting for my phone call. It might come in any second, so I need to get off of here. And I'll just throw some starter videos all together. I got, I think, 3 or 4 little clips. Put them together and let you see what's going on. Thanks for watching. Bye.